At least okay. I don't know why I did it like that. Just felt right. Anyways. We're waiting for them to commit to the bit and actually like come out of the fucking room. Which I wonder, do you think he's like staying in the room like for an extended period of time on purpose? Or is he like legitimately talking about shit? Because at this point, anything could be happening, you know? So I'm just gonna put it over to the side. We're just gonna keep waiting. The summit's still happening. It's been like 2 fucking hours now. Almost. Wonder if they're actually talking about shit. I don't trust that they are. They kind of annoy me. Now we wait. We wait and we wait. Yesterday we were talking about NATO and all that stuff. I'm not gonna like dive too deep into it because why would I? Why would I? Why would I? Wow. Wow. Anyways, today we chill. So I have like I don't know. My back hurts. I haven't been able to work out properly on my right hand side because I fucked up my shoulder. Like my right shoulder. Again, remember, well, technically, here's the thing. I didn't really fuck up my shoulder, but I've been working it out, trying to like even shit out, and I'm just like, ugh. So that means I have to take more rest days, which is annoying. But today I gotta work out, so I feel more confident and comfortable with myself. What does that say about me? Who knows? Who knows? Hi, George. How are you? I just kind of ramble until everybody gets here. Everybody. I'll stop. You're doing okay? Good, I'm glad. Are you waiting for the chats or the combo with Putin? Waiting. We might actually cover it. I thought they'd be done like really quickly, but apparently they're little chatterboxes who can't shut the fuck up. But they're just like intentionally waiting a bit. I'm kidding. I don't think they actually are. What if they are though? Oh, my feels better, by the way. He says hi. He's like he's doing a lot better. I was gonna get up, sir. But now I guess I won't. But anyways, I have it here on the side. So once they decide to do anything, we can like hop into it. But until then, we're just gonna talk about random stuff. Larry says, gee, it's weekend, Josie. It is, but we're not playing video games till tomorrow. Tomorrow is when we play Inside again, which I've been waiting for. I actually am so fucking psyched to play that game a bit more. I'm also, yeah, I'm excited. I'm a little nervous. I wonder if my old friends in Anchorage, Alaska are like hyped about what's going on. It's like the most recognition they've been getting for a while. Nervous about playing the video game? No. It's just a video game. I do get nervous in the moment though. Chaotic says, hi Josie in chat. How are you wonderful hot people doing? Ah, thank you. Thank you for calling me hot. I'm kidding. I'm being sassy. I'm doing pretty okay. How are you, Chaotic? And I actually really like the game. I just can't wait until October when Little Nightmares 3 is coming out. Even though I'm paying full price for that, baby, it's gonna be so good. Chaotic says I'm doing really good actually. Hells yeah. Hells to the yeah. I can't sorry. Bro, what the fuck? He's like, let's dive into it. Darius Josie, as a socialist, if you're in the world, do we get private property? Bro, bro, bro. What even is, I think, I'm not gonna lie. I think renting it out for an extended period of time would be a version of private property that I could like promote, but it really depends on like semantics. So if you want to talk about conditions, I'm here for that. But like, yeah, there like different circumstances require different things, you know? Like, are we talking about the idealistically or the transition to that point? But we also don't have to dive deep into it. There says, hi, Josie and Laz. Josie, the people need a yes or no. What am I, a politician, Mitch? There's hardly ever a yes or no answer in life. It's usually more complicated than that. So, wow. I'm writing, fuck. Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday. Luckily, this is one of those rare cases where it is a yes or no. Then this is not a yes or no. This is not a yes or no. I gave you. That's chaotic, says Josie. As a socialist here in the world, do people still have freedom to say crap and bullshit opinions? Oh man. Long as they're willing to suffer the consequences of what they say, sure. George says, while I was waiting on the summit in Alaska, I'm watching on TV about the mayor of New Orleans being indicted on federal charges. Oh, yeah, I forgot about that. Everyone's been so focused, like myself included, on what's going on in Alaska. Louisiana's been, like, really struggling. They've been getting a resurgence in attention because people are learning more about Katrina, but yeah. Dari says, would it be very liberal of you to give people freedom of speech protections put in it? Oh my fucking god. You're such a meme. Let's see though. New Orleans. Indicted on corruption charges according to, let's do, for federal conspiracy, fraud, and obstruction charges based on accusations that she, dot, 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 dot. Oh my god. I feel like y'all are shit posting today, and I'm here for it. I like the memes, but holy shit. Oh yeah, persecutors called a year-long scheme to hide a romantic relationship with her bodyguard, who was accused of being paid as if he was working even when they met alone in apartments and traveled on vineyards. Oh. So it's just a sex thing? Yeah. Yeah. Chaotic says, would people have the freedom to drive a tank on the streets on socialism? Bruh, there'd be road laws. You can't drive, like, a fucking tank in most states on the roads, legally. You could get permission to, though, in certain states. Dory says, we want to know your political framework, Josie. It's incredibly important to know if you would let people drive tanks around the street. It's more than that, says George. She's in deep crap now. Alright, let's see. Let's see. What else is there? That's all I can find on it. Here's the article that was updated like 26 minutes ago. There's like 16 charges against her. Okay. Where is that, sir? I'm open, but I just want to like. Yeah. Let's see. There's literally a guy here in Brazil. He says he's a libertarian, but he's just a Catholic conservative. He says people should be free to drive tanks on the streets. He also says that he's in favor of arming a bakery and arming teachers against school shootings. It's giving Trump. Alright, let's see. Conspiracy to commit wire fraud, conspiracy to obstruct justice, obstruction of justice, false statements, and false declarations before the grand jury. This is their local news station, which I will share with you. Bruh, what the fuck is this? Y'all are being weird. Central was also implicated in the 2024 indictment of her former bodyguard. Romantic affair. Let's see what else is there. Jury stated the evidence from federal prosecutors in February 2024 and returning to indictment last September against building inspector Randy Farrell, charging him with conspiracy to bribe Cantrell with about $9,000 in gifts in 2019, including NFC championship game tickets. Bribery. Ooh, bad mayor vibes. This is why you can't get super close to mayors. Dania says, whoa, new background. Yeah, I changed. Actually, I don't change it anymore. I mean, I will be changing it. Like, the plants are going to move around and, you know, my pussies, they're in the background a lot. Siri's down here right now, but he's just a little black blob here. Canic says, sorry, Josie, I drank a bit too much coffee, so I'm goofy today on the wild broad. Thank you. Thank you. I'm going to say that as the background in me. Bro. George says, yeah, yep, guess what? She's also a Democrat. Damn shit. George, you're just trying to say Democrats suck. Bruh. Joke's on you, I live in a red state. I know how to defend myself. Damn, let's see. We're still waiting. Oh, it looks like there's something happening. Something's happening. I don't think anything's like crazy's going on. People are starting to sit. Camera's out. Nothing just yet. They're getting close though. What's up, Danya? 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 Damn, yeah. I'm sorry. Let's see. I've been like writing down all of my notes right now too. Dari says, do you remember when Trump sat down next to the Prime Minister of Japan and referred to him as Mr. Japan? Clip it, and send it to me. I would like to see it. Boop. George says the Democratic Party is pretty much sucking canal water right now. I wouldn't say so. I know you wish. I'm not a huge like, ooh, I love the Democrats, you know. Daniel says, all fine, I'm waiting news about Alaska party, waiting Putin with news at home. Yeah. Wait, are you from Russia? I was talking to my Russian friends today, trying to get like an understanding of how they feel. I mean, they obviously fled to America because of that. Here's a link. Mr. Japan, would you like to send me to send my nukes again if you align with China? Holy fuck. Yeah, that's what I thought, Daniel. Well, I'm honored to have you here. I hope China is so I reduce it. We still don't know. We don't have the clarity of what you're doing with these expiration dates of these pauses. I think I thought I just bought China. Mr. Japan, bruh! Mr. Japan owns the most U.S. government debt. Bruh. Dear Mr. Japan, here's the story. You're gonna pay a 25% off on your cards. I don't know. What drugs is that man on? What drugs is he on? George says, do you have the White House YouTube channel? No, I have Reuters. The White House one is like, not as, it's okay quality, I guess. It's not my favorite. But yeah, I'm doing, Reuters. I was thinking about doing PBS, but Reuters is one of the only ones that doesn't have commentary, and I try not to use the White House one that often because it annoys me. Yeah, people are starting to get more active and sit down. George says, I have the White House on the TV, still nothing going on. Yeah, they're just hanging out. Oh, oh my god. You're all sending it. Okay, 1 second. Do, 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 do. Down, 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 down. It's just a few seconds. They'll be in for hours. There won't be news for ages. They've been in there for like 2.5 hours. No, they actually started at 2:30 Central Standard Time, which is where I'm at, and it's currently 5:17. So they've been there for almost 3 hours now. Maybe. Okay. This is about Greenland. This is like a while ago, yeah. When did this? Yeah, this was like 6 months ago. Is this the right link? Mr. Meow says first. Yeah, you're totally first, sir. First. Unless it goes badly, like with Mr. Ukraine. Well, Trump already, like, basically licks his taint, so. Man. They're both old, so it'd probably be hard to get down that low, anyways. Sorry, I can't help myself. And what is the definition of badly? We're just gonna have to, like, wait a little bit, too. Pam. P-A-N, Pam. P-P-M. What is the what? Oh, wait, what? Daria says, are you soft launching Putin and Trump? Yeah, we. I fucking wish. That'd be good shit. I bet someone's already made that, though. Mr. Meow says, what is the what? What is the what? What in the butt? What? Sorry. Anyways. I've been, like, not as productive as I should have been this entire week. It's been really annoying. We're just kind of waiting, y'all. Well, how have you been, Mr. Meows? While we're waiting. You're waiting for news from Alaska? Ditto. Ditto. That's kind of what I'm waiting for, too. It's been, I have the live stream up on the side. Everyone's walking around with their phones. They're like, Marky Mark's here. Holy fuck, I didn't think everyone would be here. Okay, hey bitches, how you doing? How you doing? Okay, someone's at the... Not saying shit now. We got someone on the stand, though. I might be doing mic tests again. So... Bruh. Mark says, I'm reporting in from a new house today. Ah, congratulations, love. Barry says, you're a very stable genius. Ah, totally. I don't know how I feel about that, but thank you. I guess. Let's see. Ugh. Are you liking your new house, Mark? Is it fun? Aha! There we go. I think it might be happening soon. They're saying something. Let's see. You guys can hear it with me. One thing is like saying shit, right?
Проверка. 121, 122, 123, 124.
I think, yeah, it's just stupid shit. Okay, now we wait. It was so much work. Yeah, I bet. You're like busy as hell, bro. You were moving really close though, so I think it's okay. Congratulations! Are you having like a brewski or something to celebrate? Do you guys smoke weed where you're at? I don't know. I don't really smoke anymore, so I'm like, do you? Do you? Do you? Mark says it was just me and my brother carrying everything because everyone else's backs were conveniently broken today. Vibes, what a sleigh. Larry says moving house is one of the most stressful things ever. For sure. For sure. Especially when you don't move that often. I think they're doing mic checks again. Yeah, nothing's happening. Mark says, no, I wanted to wait until the garage is moved. After that, it's barbecue and beer. Hey, are you going to feed everybody or are you just like feeding yourself? Is that like something that you guys do? Whoop. Dory says, like, for some reason, cows have weird knees, so you can get them upstairs, but you can't get them downstairs afterwards. Yeah, that's why they have to have ramps. Mark says, it'd be me, my siblings, and my girlfriend. Oh, that's so cute! You're gonna have like a little BBQ vibes. I'm proud of you. That's gonna be such a sleigh. Yeah, matter. Okay, I got my notes then. What if this is like so anticlimactic? I have a feeling there's not gonna be a shit ton of stuff happening in this. It's just gonna be something that people think about a lot afterwards. Darius says, have you studied your neighbors and found out if they're noisy? He's gonna get rid of his fucking garden, the bastard. I'm still disappointed. And you have to send me pictures of it before you destroy it. I remember, Mark. I remember. Like an elephant in here. Just not always accessible. Galaxy It's like topic change. Are you conservative in any political aspects? Maybe how I dress. That has nothing to do with other people. Jerry says, not something you think about when you move house, but people can wreck anything. I know. I'm kind of nervous about my new neighbors. I got a ton of new ones, and they're like, ugh. Ugh, ugh. Oh, yeah. Proud of you, Marky Mark. I'm just gonna leave my headphones like this, and we're just gonna wait. Wait. I don't know, I'm saying I'm conservative-ish with how I dress because my tits are kind of out, and I don't know what that means. Mr. Meow says, what is your background? What do you mean? Can you elaborate? I don't think I get what you mean. We got real headphones today? Yeah. I wanna have like more of the open back kind of vibes. Works out pretty okay for me. But I have this. I'm trying to be more comfortable with you guys seeing me wear headphones. Even though my head is small. Like, I have a hat. It's so embarrassing. But it looks like it just kind of like sticks up right here. Are they really open? No. But like, You can see that they're like open down here. So I call them open backs, even though they're not. If I have like my hair here, it kind of silences it more. And I have the door closed, so it's not like I have to listen to anything out there, like be more cautious. Yeah. Koenig says, I don't think there's a way to dress in a political way as crazy as it must sound. The way you dress and speak doesn't define your political spectrum. I know some people who look conservative and are pretty lefty, and some queer people who are right wing. Right wing. A lot of people, if I'm not wearing makeup and stuff, think that I am very conservative. So yeah, it's how I look. But then I like don't show my tattoos a lot. I'm usually like wearing the sleeves and wearing like pants. So yeah. And Dari says, what about a maggot hat? Bruh. And can I put the headphones up higher? Like, make them smaller? Yeah, that's as small as they are. They're Sennheisers. I know they're controversial, but I have a small head. So every single headset I wear, they always go lower than they should. Because believe it or not, I'm a buff bitch, but I am kind of small. I'm not super buff yet. Yet I'm getting swole again. Yeah. Let's see. Gax says the person can be trolling. You can get like punched in the face. Like you can have consequences for wearing like MAGA attire in like left-leaning spaces. Like people will treat you differently for that shit. Mark says open back is like the back of the speaker being open through. Yeah, so like open back headphones can have so like on the sides they'll sometimes have like panels so sound will travel through. But because these don't fit me right, they go a little too low. Like literally you can see they're up all the way. It's just yeah. Kari says it would be a troll if there were performative aspect to the clothing, which in this case would be political. Yeah. Yeah. Mr. Mermeow says maybe you can position something between your head and the headphones. No, that's why I never wear my headphones. Okay? So I don't do it. Mark says, did you check out the R7DXs? They're pretty compact and actually open back. Oh, bro, I actually really want that. I need to upgrade at some point. I would love to get these though. They look really good. They're like sexy as fuck. I like they just look so cool. Oh, the brown ones are like, mwah, chef's kiss. A teddy bear shoved in there would look really cute. Give me a fucking Labubu. Like a goth Labubu and I'd like it. Let's see. Not a blackface Labubu though. Did you see that video of the girl? The fucking it was so bad. Anyways, Mr. Meows. Oh wait, Mark says yeah, but the, IRC their independents are pretty high, so you need to make sure you can have a sound card that can drive them. Ooh, shit, true. I don't know if I do. I have to. I'm debating on how like advanced I should do my setup. I'm thinking about getting like some. I don't know. We'll see. We'll see. We'll see. Dari says goth question mark. I'm not goth. I used to be goth though. Like when I used to like dress up really like gothy when I was younger, whenever I didn't want people to like talk to me or recognize me. Because I grew up really religious, right? And I wasn't religious. I was in a religious household. And if I wanted people from the church and stuff to not like immediately recognize me when I was going out, I would do my hair like completely differently. Like I would just dress opposite to what I normally would, and then I would wear like all black and stuff like that. And then most of the time they would leave me alone, and they didn't really recognize me that much. You just have to like dress really different. So like, yeah. I also did theater, so yeah. Gotta wear black blacks. Chaotic. Oh wait, Dari says separate from the Mobo. Mobo. What's Mobo? Mr. Meow says, shit makes amazing amplifiers and DACs. That's true. It does. They do. They do. I've heard. I really want to get like, oh man. Believe it or not, I do need a better microphone. I've been using a fucking Yeti with a little condom that I put on it. Like I made it. Wait, out of a dog toy. Which you can see that my camera, I just didn't really bother like fixing it up today. I felt like because I'm like wearing all black and stuff, the grungy aesthetic would be vibey. Because I'm gonna be like not emo, but you know what I mean. But yeah, the vibrancy is like, I think it's really close. That's why it needs like more shade, so you can kind of see it. I don't know. Oh, I don't know. Might as well put a sock over it. But that's kind of what I did. I like gutted a dog toy. Which was a little cactus. And it's so cute. And I've like added little things I got from it. So like this is from a craft fair that I helped promote. One of the workers. Anyways, this is like lots of little things. Yeah. Chaotic says, talking about clothing and looks, I was thinking a few hours ago about start dressing up as an emo fanboy, bro. Yeah, no thank you. I don't know. I usually don't wear a lot of all black. I just kind of, sometimes I do. I just try to like, I change my aesthetic a lot. So depending on how I feel in the day, I'll just be like, I'll do this, or I'll do that. I'm wearing, I don't know, just like comfy clothes. So I was like, black matches everything. And then I already did my eyeliner. It's like purple. Or like more eyeshadow and stuff. Dario says, I have a cute little Sauron toy that lives inside my computer. That's so cute. I still have to swap out my computer because the glass broke. Gaddick says, I like wearing black. Ditto. Ditto. It's kind of coming up with like a resurgence. I like that though. Like the punky side of things. Um, I have to wear a lot of black because of my job, but usually I dress more like a 90s kind of aesthetic. I wear very like earthy tones and like blacks. I don't really wear bright colors. I don't like it. It feels unnatural, but I've never really liked bright colors, so it works. I think it makes me look weird, like dull, which is okay. Are you a referee or something? What do you mean? No. I haven't done anything like that in a long time, honestly. I don't think I was like ever a ref. I was a person who would like change the scorecard. I did that a couple times. Why are you asking, Darius? What's that about? Oh, he's purring. Who needs to wear black for work apart from refs and Sith words? Oh my god. I don't know. I do theater stuff, so I gotta wear like all black, especially if I'm helping out backstage and stuff, which I don't have to do often. Chaotic says, imagine Josie as a referee running around the field and saying, fault. I'll just be like, yellow card, yellow card. That'd be my favorite part, just like holding up the cards on like the stands, you know, or on the sides. I'd rather be like an assistant coach. I don't think I'd like to actually coach because the consequences are so high, but assistant coaching is really fun. That's what I used to do. I was a fill-in coach for a while and I fucking hated that. And that was for swim. And that like it was really good for like dry land. Sorry, I have like a bit of a headache today. It was good for like practices when we were doing dry lands and stuff. Like that was the easiest part for me. But yeah, it was harder when everyone was in the water because you kind of have to like Like, how do you show people what to do when you're not in the water with them and you have to like walk back and forth and be like, stop breathing? It made me feel bad. Gar says this may be really unfair, but I instantly wondered if you were too clumsy to be backstage during a theater production. That's actually really interesting because I was I don't know. I did lots of theater stuff. So I designed sets. Like I'm not even joking with you. I helped design sets and organize that sort of thing. Um, I was like really I lettered in theater too. Music I lettered in choir and theater. Yeah, so I lettered in musical theater basically when I was in high school. Um, and then I helped with competitions and stuff. Uh, but no, I helped move sets. Andrew was with me because we went to the same high school. We've known each other for like a long time. Sadly, that's why I live with him. Whatever. Chaotic says, "Damn, Josie, what else did you do? Did you learn how to drive a plane? Were you did you went to the Navy? Live with bears?" I'm talking about theater. Okay, was I uncoordinated? I could move sets, but like I would get nervous.
She would always call me over to drill the pilot holes
I would
because
get
she would
nervous.
break the drill bits all the
Okay,
time.
but it's because here. Do you want to know why? Here's why. Here's why. It's because I'm not gonna get super deep into it. I was nervous. I was nervous. Okay, I was having trauma times in life, so I would be like having like thoughts of like like what's going on with my world,
I just come
and
over
then
and
I
be
would
like,
make him do it.
Josie, you're being silly. You just
Sometimes I just wanted him to do it so I could make fun of him. You sucked at painting though. You couldn't do anything separate.
bad.
He fucking sucked at it so bad. And then I got better with it eventually. It's just they yelled at me for breaking too many drill bits, so I had to have someone help me.
Red Foo House. Your bowels are good. It's just it was a one-off thing. Tell us.
Your bowels are never good, sir.
No, it's like
You stress out and you have diarrhea.
yeah. If I have if I'm really
Yeah.
anxious, I get diarrhea. But mind-gut connection's a real thing.
Andrew, our boy, tell us something cool, dude. I don't know.
Something cool
He's obsessed
is
with
that
Michael Reeves.
flamingos. What now?
What?
Say I'm obsessed with Michael Reeves?
You watch like every video. He was just watching.
There's
I'm
only
just kidding. I'm kidding. He not really, but you were just watching his. I don't know. I know I feel nervous.
this girl is wildin'. I watched one Michael Reeves video today.
Every time it comes out, though, he shows.
I'm not. I don't even think I'm subscribed to Michael Reeves. He doesn't make videos.
I know. Okay, fine. I won't
You're
talk
so
about it. I won't
weird.
talk about it. I won't talk about it. Okay.
Michael Reeves, he's a YouTube inventor dude. He's one of the people that ends up at Open Sauce all the time with like William Osmond and I did a thing.
I have no idea what he's talking about.
It's because you don't watch educational YouTube. Boom roasted.
That's so fucking rude.
If you guys want a good machining channel, Inheritance Machining is really good. Would recommend.
Mr. Meow says, wow, chaotic says, damn. I'm on the other side of educational shit. I listen to history stuff. I do though, and he's like, I'm gonna watch map videos. Shut the fuck up. You come in here and you insult me. That is so fucking educational. You don't know lick about boy. Andrew just told Josie it's dumb. That's true. He calls me dumb all the time. It's okay. I got better grades than you.
Not this semester.
Shut the fuck up. That class was fucked from the start. You know, it started with like almost 50 people, and now there's 6 people left in there, and it's too late. Bruh, I don't even. Oh, motherfucker. I've explained this to you guys, right? Daria says, what decade was the First World War? Professor Josie. Are you serious? It was like, it started in like mid to late 1910s. It was like, I grew up with historians, yo. I'm not gonna dive like insanely into it, but like
Yeah, what
I
kind of
talk about
historians did you grow up with, Josie?
well, fucking Nazis, religious cultists, but that part doesn't matter. I've had to do
Context matters.
the context matters because I've had to redo like all of my motherfucker.
All of your revisionist history.
That's why I do history and I teach history. Like I have to talk about history at my work and give like little mini
When
lectures and
humans
shit.
started to produce drugs. Nature started to produce
true.
drugs far before humans ever did.
And humans love getting high a lot. Like they would literally
Yeah, we do.
oh my god.
Marijuana goes back to like the dawn of written history.
That
So
and
does,
like
cocaine
fermented
use.
stuff too. Do you see him? He's
I wonder how many people had to die before people figured out fermentation.
well,
Probably a lot.
well, the grain would ferment if like it was wet, and then it could sometimes make people sick. So that was one of the first psychedelics. There's a special like fungus or bacteria that would like grow on grain. I don't remember what it's called.
God, you're so fucking weird, dude.
Chaotic says, I see Master Andrew gave us a new spiritual insight. Thank you, Master Andrew.
Brother out here like, Golem, my precious.
Ergot. Is it called ergot? I don't fucking know.
Ergot,
What is ergot?
the first psychedelic.
Yeah! Look how happy he is. He's forgiven me. I have to drug him every day now. Twice a day.
Yeah, otherwise his tummy upsetty.
Yeah, it's basically Pepto-Bismol on steroids. Yeah, it's called ergot, yeah. Look how happy he is. I thought he was gonna die. But he's alive. Yay! I love you so much. Bye, Andrew. Stay well. Yeah, he's taking a piss right now. He'll probably be back. He's being really sassy today. Ollie, be nice to Siri, sir. Oh, hello. Hi, Ollie. Do you want to say hello to everybody? Stinky butt. Here's dog nose. He said hi. I'm not gonna pet you this entire time. No, you cannot be this needy. Alien Earth review, Josie. What the fuck is that? Please explain. Please explain. George says hi, Ollie. Ollie says hi. He wants attention right now. Because everybody's in here. So he's like, Mama, let's hang out. You stinky butt! Oh, it's a TV show. I've never seen that. Chaotic says, Josie, what do you think of libertarians? Bye. Oh. Yesterday, I was talking to a dude about that. Mr. Meow says, I like libertarian foreign policy. Do explain, Mr. Meows. Do explain. Please elaborate. I would like to understand. So you know like that, on your teeth, how there's like that little thing up there, it like comes out, it's like the little like up there, like uvula thing. Mine's sore for some reason. Sorry, just I felt like saying that. Your laugh explained a lot, even though you didn't say anything. Well, yeah, I'm trying not to be a dick, you know? It's a little hard not to, though. Sorry. Mr. Meow says it's hands off. They don't go around promoting wars in other countries, regime changes, etc. Bro, Darius says, would you remove liberal Democrats or social Democrats from politics, Josie? I think eventually they'll just remove themselves. IMO. IMO. Some saucy stuff is happening. Oh, there's a girl wearing a turtleneck in Alaska. Come on, Josie, you can be a dick sometimes. I know, but sometimes it's like really hard to like shrink back into my normal self afterwards, you know? It's like my ego takes a Viagra and then here I am. I didn't mean for it to come out the way I said it, but I'm sticking to it. I'm sticking to it. I see, I'm sorry then. Yeah. Yeah, I just have to have someone with me. If someone else is like, yeah, like, fuck them, I'm like, yeah, fuck them. But, like, I try not to, like, on my own, though. I'm responsible. I like to think that I'm a level head. Oh, I love myself. Okay, anyways, I'm not a narcissist, y'all. I've been tested. I just have a big ego. Dari says, uh, for someone that was in a small-scale domestic militia, Josie is very shy about her politics. That's why I'm shy about my politics, bro. You know how easy it is for me to get in those fucking spaces. If I open my mouth just a little bit, people are like, would you like to come do this thing? Come here, do this thing with us. And I'm just like, and then me, being who I am, I'm just like, I just want to see what this is about. And then I get myself in so many situations. And yes, I was part of a militia. I'm not going to dive super deep into it because what happened to it, once I was in there for a bit, I decided to leave because it was not what I thought it was. And maybe one day I'll talk about it and disclose why I left. But there's lots of reasons. Anyways, Chaotic says her big ego needs training to achieve nirvana. Yeah, probably. Tanner says, yo, Josenovsky. Hello. How are you, Tanner? Daria says, then before you know it, you're a warlord again. What? I wouldn't be a tyrant, yo. I wouldn't be like that. I'm all about peace. Peace and prosperity. I don't swing. I set, like, a trap, and I let people do things on their own. I suspect that they weren't extreme enough for you. Oh my god, you're trying to bait me, bro. It ain't working. It ain't working, bitch. Well, I'll give you one explanation. One of the reasons why I left. My ex was, like, wild. And he decided to stay in it. And I wanted to run away from him. So I did. I don't think they're organized anymore. I think it was just like it was more mutual aid, temporary. Chaotic says the only thing left for you to get his premium lefty ID is to get a photo with Che Guevara, picture with the communist hat and smoking. Who says that I won't get one? I want to get a Eugene Debs poster so fucking bad. I'm gonna put it on my Amazon wish list. Actually, I'm gonna buy it for myself. I'll just have it. I'll stare at it every day. I'll be like, you know. Actually, he's not that high, but like, you know, this. Yeah. Anyways. Tanner says, what's the topic today? Small chats until Trump and Putin maybe decide to say words. They're probably still talking right now. Daria says, are any of them locked up now? I don't know. The people I was with, probably not, no. They were, like, actually really chill people. It's just my ex and I had lots of problems. And I just did not want to be affiliated. Like, I literally left the city because it was so bad with my ex. Anyways. Yeah, it's not fun. But no, none of them that I worked with, I don't believe any of them are locked up. I still see them sometimes online, and I'm just like, oh, you go. But, yeah. They, really wanted to stay away from, like, press and stuff like that, which, that's something that, like, I obviously don't do well with. I do. Get attention for some reason. which is okay. I want to see. What is this about? This is about Michael Saba, formerly of CNN and Future Sound Productions channel, have made new video essays that unravel Kojima's progressive ideals in the Phantom Pain, previous games, and the new Destiny. Well, I feel like I don't have everything. Go down the route of radicalizing VTuber agencies. Bro, what the fuck? Why would I do that? I don't think I'll do that. Why are nice wall clocks so expensive? That's really fucking good question. That's a good question. I don't have an answer to that one. That's why I don't have one. I'm being honest. I prefer wall clocks. My grandparents had one. Oh, I think something's happening. Wait, let's see. More people are loading in. Oh. I think we got Caroline here, which means they'll probably be here soon. Caddick says, I just wanted to show Kojima with the communist hat smoking next to Quaver. Bro! Daria says, very specific, engineering ID image. It's mad how they used to make stuff in the past that complicated. I don't know what to say to that one, honestly. But whatever. Let's see. Oh, people are loading up. Daria says, it's mad how they used to make stuff in the past that complicated. Oh, I thought you were going to say something else. Sorry. Tanner says, will there be a press conference? Yeah, that's what we're waiting on. We've been waiting on it for a bit, though. Daria says, it's like you've never seen inside a watch. It's the most complex thing ever. Can be. Do you think this meeting was a trap to get Putin? What do you mean, Mr. Meows? What was that supposed to mean? Yeah, nothing so far. Just chilling. Just waiting. I think we have another 15 or so minutes before anything starts. What type of trap? Dari says, can you imagine if Putin got shot during the meeting? I highly doubt that would happen, but I bet some people dream, about that. I think that would start a ton of shit. Just Chaotic says, please, God, please. Oh, diggity dog, yo. Let's see. I think it leads to World War III. This? Oh, shit, they're here. Let's see.
Шли в конструктивной и взаимоуважительной атмосфере. Были весьма обстоятельными и полезными. Хотел бы еще раз поблагодарить моего американского коллегу за предложение приехать на Аляску. Вполне логично встретиться именно здесь, ведь наши страны, хоть нас разделяют океаны, на самом деле близкие соседи. И я, когда мы встретились, вышли из самолетов, я так сказал: добрый день, дорогой сосед, очень приятно видеть вас в добром здравии и живым. И по-соседски это очень звучит, по-моему, по-доброму. Нас разделяет только Берингов пролив, да и то, там 2 острова между российским и американским островом всего 4 километра. Мы
This one.
2 islands only between the Russian island and the US island. They're only 4 kilometers apart. We're close neighbors, and it's a fact.
I think we all understand Russian.
It's also
Okay,
important
chill
that
out.
Alaska has to do with our common heritage, common history between Russia and the U.S., and many positive events have to do with that territory. Still, there is
I like he started naming your bookmarks in
cultural
lesson
heritage
fees after the
back from
first
the
two
Russian
words.
America. For example, Orthodox churches and a lot of more than 700 geographical names of Russian origin.
Okay,
During
chaotic.
the Second World War, it was here in Alaska that was the origin of the legendary air bridge for the supply of military aircraft and other equipment under the Lend-Lease program.
That's true.
There was a dangerous and treacherous route over the vast emptiness of ice. However, the pilots of both countries did everything to bring closer the victory. They risked their lives and they gave it all for the common victory. I was just in the city of Magadan in Russia, and there is a memorial there dedicated to the Russian and the U.S. pilots. And there are 2 flags, the U.S. flag and the Russian flag. And I know that here as well, there is such a memorial. There is a military burial place several kilometers away from here. The Soviet pilots that buried there who died during that dangerous mission. We're thankful to the citizens and the government of the U.S. for carefully taking care of their memory. I think that's very worthy and noble. We'll always remember other historical examples when our countries defeated common enemies together in the spirit of battle camaraderie and allyship that supported each other and facilitated each other. I'm sure that this heritage will help us rebuild and foster mutually beneficial and equal ties at this new stage, even during the hardest conditions. It is known that there have been no summits between Russia and the U.S. for 4 years, and that's a long time. This time was very hard for bilateral relations, and let's be frank, they have fallen to the lowest point since the Cold War. I think that's not benefiting our countries and the world as a whole. It is
I wonder why.
Sooner or later, we had to amend the situation to move on from the confrontation to dialogue. And in this case, a personal meeting between the heads of state has been long overdue. Naturally, under the condition of serious and painstaking work, and this work has been done in general.
I don't think so.
Me and President Trump have very good direct contact. We've spoken multiple times. We spoke frankly on the phone. And Special Envoy
I wonder what's
the
in Trump's
President,
ear.
Mr. Witkoff, traveled out to Russia several times. Our advisors and heads of foreign ministries kept in touch all the time. And you know fully well that one of the central issues was the situation around Ukraine. We see the strive of the administration and President Trump personally to help
Trump's not going to interrupt
the
Mr. Meow.
resolution of the Ukrainian conflict, and his strive to get to the crux of the matter, to understand this history
And make him look like
is
shit.
precious. As I've said, the situation in Ukraine has to do with fundamental threats to our security. Moreover, we've always considered the Ukrainian nation, and I've said it multiple times, a brotherly nation, however strange it may sound in these conditions. We have the same roots, and everything that's happening is a tragedy for us and terrible wound. Therefore, the country is sincerely
It's true.
interested in
Or it isn't available.
At the same time, we're convinced that in order to make the settlement lasting and long-term, we need to eliminate all the primary roots, the primary causes of that conflict. And we've said it multiple times, to consider all legitimate concerns of Russia and to reinstate a just balance of security in Europe and in the world on the whole. And I agree with President Trump, as he has said today, that naturally the security of Ukraine should be ensured as well. Naturally, we are prepared to work on that. I would like to hope that the agreement that we've reached together will help us bring closer that goal and will pave the path towards peace in Ukraine. We expect that Kiev and European capitals will perceive that constructively and that they won't throw a wrench in the works. They will not make any attempts to use some backroom dealings to conduct provocations to torpedo the nascent progress.
Darius says, so the normal tariffs, oil, gas, frozen assets, and SWIFT, all that will be gone if Trump gets his mineral deal and they drop the borders where they are now. If. I'll have to see.
It's still very symbolic. Still, we have a growth of 20%. As I've said, we have a lot of dimensions for joint work. It is clear that the U.S. and Russian investment and business cooperation has tremendous potential. Russia and the U.S. can offer each other so much in trade, digital, high-tech, and in space exploration. We see that Arctic
Russia will push
cooperation
hard
is also very possible.
for that time they can't get
And our
past bipartisan
international
deal.
context, for example,
Yeah.
between the Far East of Russia and the West Coast of the U.S. Overall, it's very important for our countries to turn the page, to go back to cooperation. It is symbolic that not far away from here, at the border between Russia and the U.S.,
Gingins,
there is a so-called international date line.
ginger candies.
I think you can step over, literally, from yesterday into tomorrow. And I hope that we'll succeed in that, in political sphere. I would like to thank President Trump for our joint work, for the well-wishing and trustworthy tone of our conversation. It's important that both sides are result-oriented,
Darius.
and we see that the President of the U.S. has a very clear idea of what he would like to achieve.
Darius says,
He
I wonder if North
sincerely
Korea
cares
will get
about
some bones off
prosperity of
Trump.
his
They've been
nation.
fighting out there as well.
Still, he understands that Russia has its own national interests.
It was really controversial when Trump met with North Korea.
Not only for the solution of the Ukrainian issue, but also will help us bring back
He met with North
business-like
Korea
and
in his
diplomatic
first term in
relations between
office,
Russia and the U.S.
and that
in the
didn't
end,
really go
I'd like
super
to
well.
add one more thing. I'd like to remind you that in 2022, during the last contact with the previous administration,
And
I
hell
tried
yeah,
to
Darius.
convince my previous American colleague that the situation should not be brought to the point of no return when it would come to hostilities. And I said it quite directly back then that it's a big mistake. Today, when President Trump saying that if he was the president back then, there will be no war. And I'm quite sure that it would indeed be so. I can confirm that.
No,
I think that overall, me and
he goes
President
nutty
Trump
for it.
have built a
They
very
both
good,
fucking-
business-like and trustworthy contact.
They don't like Biden.
And I have every reason
Obviously.
to believe that moving down this path, we can come, and the sooner the better, to the end of the conflict in Ukraine. Thank you. Thank you.
Well, thank you very much, Mr. President. That was
Blame
very
Biden and
profound.
I'll give
I
you.
will say
Right.
that
Tanner says, do
we
you think
had a
this
very
is historic?
productive meeting. There were
Well, it's a
many,
part
many
of history,
points
for
that
sure.
we agreed on, most of them, I would say. A couple of big ones that we haven't quite gotten there, but we've made some headway. So there's no deal until there's a deal. I will call up NATO in a little while. I will call up the various people that I think are appropriate, and I'll, of course, call up President Zelensky and tell him about today's meeting. It's ultimately
Yes, mental, there's a war in
them
Europe
to
in
have to
2025.
agree
I know,
with,
bro.
what Marco and Steve and some of the great people from the Trump administration who've come here, Scott and John Radcliffe, thank you very much. So we have some
Okay,
of our
that
really
wears
great
our
leaders that
screenshot
have
is
done a
also
phenomenal
historic.
job.
Hell yeah.
We also have some tremendous Russian business representatives here, and I think everybody wants to
None
deal
of this
with us. We
means
can talk
shit
about this
until
country
like
anywhere in the
Ukraine
world in a very
actually
short period of
meets
time.
with like
We
Russia.
look forward to that. We look forward to dealing. We're gonna.
This is
try
all
and get
just
this over
basically
with.
like
We
what
really made
ifs.
some
This is all just fucking what
great
ifs.
progress
IMO.
today. I've always had a fantastic
Exactly, Mr.
relationship with.
This is
President
literally
Putin, with Vladimir. We had
just press for Putin.
many
Ukraine has no leverage.
tough meetings.
They have
big
more
meetings.
leverage
We
than you
were,
think.
interfered with by the Russia hoax that made it a little bit tougher to deal with, but he understood it.
They're
I
draining
think he's
Russia's
probably seen
resources.
Things like that during the course of his career, he's seen it all. But we had to put up with the Russia hoax. He knew it was a hoax, and I knew it was a hoax. But what was done was very criminal. But it made it harder for us to deal as a country in terms of the business and all of the things that we'd like to have dealt with. But we'll have a good chance when this is over. So just to put it very quickly, I'm going to start making a few phone calls and tell them what happened. But we had an extremely productive.
Darius says, very important. TBH,
many
Putin is in
points
the
we
U.S. and
agreed
leader
to.
of an internationally
There
isolated and
are
sanctioned Russia.
Just a very few that are left. Some are not.
Would it be
that
more
significant.
important
One is probably
if
the most
those with
significant. but we have a very good chance of getting there.
A
We didn't get
more
there, but we have a
outwardly
very good chance of getting
Ukraine
there. I'd like
allied
to thank,
country
President Putin
in
and the
Europe,
entire team.
like France or
His
Germany.
faces, who I know in many cases.
Yeah, Mr. Meow
Other
says
than
Russia
that,
is only isolated from the
whose
EU.
faces I
Exactly.
get to see all the time in the newspapers. You're almost as famous as the boss, but especially this one right over here. But we had some good meetings over the years, right? Good productive meetings over the years, and we hope to have that in the future. But let's do the most productive one right now. We're going to stop really 5, 6, 7,000, thousands of people a week from being killed, and President Putin wants to see that as
He
much
says
as
he's
I
going to
do.
stop it, but there's no agreement,
again, Mr.
bitch.
President, I'd like to thank you very much, and we'll speak
What
to
the
you very
fuck?
soon, and probably see you again very soon. Thank you very much, Vladimir.
Next time in Moscow.
Oh, that's an interesting one. I don't know. I'll get a little heat on that one, but I could see it possibly happening. Thank you very much, Vladimir.
He's
and thank
so
you all. Thank you.
proud.
Thank you.
Thank you so much.
Are you taking any questions? You just said thank you very much, and now he's leaving. Interesting. Okay. The fuck was that? Of course it was just fucking... okay.
We reached the deal.
Yeah,
In conclusion,
bro, you want to say
I'm
that's a
gonna
joke?
make some phone calls.
Okay, that
Dog.
just...
He sounds like a guy who's being like held at gunpoint to like say certain things.
What the fuck was that? Oh my god. Anyways,
That was a gamer moment.
Mr. Meow says it's crazy that all the EU economies have declined while their economy has grown so much. It's like the EU is holding them back, keeping the leash on Russia. I feel like Russia is having, like, they're artificially inflating some shit. They might not be, and if they're not, then, like, eh.
Russia's economy is having a hard
Yeah,
time.
they're really struggling. Like, my friend from Russia, she has to send shit back to her family. Because, like, it's kind of like, it's not good, and she can't send stuff back as easily anymore, and everything's, like, heavily restricted because it's Russia. So, like, her family's struggling. Like, everyone who's left there is fucking struggling. Daria says Tehran collapses isolated from the Middle East as well, and the West is so massively isolated. IMO. Yeah. That's true, that's true. Tehran is in, Iran. My brain's tired. Mr. Meow says serious collapse. Daria says, nothing much of no, Tehran is Iran. Jersey. I know, I said that. Don't worry. Nothing of much note apart from mentions of Russia business interests. True. Tehran being attacked by the U.S. Spells the end of the Beijing-Moscow-Tehran axis. True. True. But that's, like, very old and long-standing. That's, like, old school. And it's kind of, like, Iran and Russia had, like, a lot of, like, ooh for a very long time because Iran literally, or it was invaded by Russia and England at some point. So, like, yeah. And that was, like, within the past 100 years, so not super great. Tanner says, imagine he said next time meet in Nebraska, bruh. I'm not going to ban you, Tanner. It's to troll. Mr. Meow says, Iran literally just built a direct foreign train line to China, and Russia is just across the Caspian Sea from Iran. True. Freight train. Yeah. They're, like, most of the Middle Eastern nations, especially towards what we consider the Middle East, but basically West Asian nations, are starting to become a lot more affiliated with China because America is just, like, unreliable and our money is not as important to them anymore. So yeah, they're collaborating a lot more. Daria says the U.S. wouldn't have bombed Tehran without implicit support from Beijing and Moscow. I don't really agree with that one. I don't know. I think there's lots of layers to that. Tanner says that was pretty short press conference IMO. Yeah, because nothing was done. Like, they kept it short and sweet because nothing was finalized. Like, they literally, there were no questions. They didn't allow for any questions because the reality is it was just basically them showboating. Like, Putin was using this as, like, it's day 1 of 3 days, right? I don't think it's 3 days. I think this is, like, the only day, but I could be wrong about that. I know this is, like, the biggest one that they're talking about, but until Ukraine is involved directly, I don't think any of it has any standing. Like, this is basically, how do I say this? In my opinion, I think this is just showboating for Putin. Like, he's trying to get good press in Russia and be like, hey, you know, things are going good, things are okay. Mr. Meow says if Iran is smart, they'll immediately have Russia and China build military bases there. Probably China, if anything, but China doesn't really do a lot of militarization. They mainly focus on economic things. They might, like, distribute weapons and stuff, which they do, but they're very much, like, not as involved in, like, proxy wars, at least as of late, when it comes to actively sending anyone or anything. Dari says it's all going to boil down to security guarantees, which I can't see Ukraine getting. Kind of, yeah. I would agree with that one. Mr. Meow says, good press in Russia, his approval rating can't go any higher. But you know what I mean? Like, he's literally just trying to, glow and be like, hey, like, America, like, we're starting to be in more good standing with all these countries. And I feel like we need to get more, like, I wish I could have, like, my friend on here, but long story short, it's basically propaganda. So he can be like, hey, look, we're rehabilitating our relationship with, or we're in the steps of trying to rehabilitate our relationship with America. And that means that we're doing the right thing and we get validation from the US and blah, blah, blah. I'm not going to go super deep into it, but that's how I see him leveraging it with his people. But Mr. Meow says it's too soon to have any outcomes. Exactly. Dari says we might get a ceasefire. I think there's still an active front today. Yeah, no, he literally was talking about peace, but then this week started, like, another offensive. So that wasn't super helpful. A lot of the eastern border of Ukraine is now occupied by Russia or is actively, like, there is conflict happening. Let's see. Mr. Meow says, I agree, it's almost like a fake peace meeting. Yeah, for sure. Daria says, and that could get Mr. Ukraine on the throne. I don't know. Like, I think Zelensky is pretty, like, fucking deep in the water at this point. Like, they don't want to secede any land. It's like seceding just tells them that they can do more. Because literally yesterday, we were just talking about Croatia and how they took over. No, Crimea. Fuck. Pardon me. Slip of the tongue. But we were talking about Crimea and how they were taking over. Like, Russia took that over in 2014, something like that. And it was really quick. And then Ukraine was like, oh, it's okay. It was really short conflict. And they're trying to do the same thing and trying to do, like, little land grabs and stuff like that. But then it didn't really work. And then it became like a proxy war with Russia, which is crazy. Yeah, it was 2014. But let's see. Dari says, I'd like to think a lot of stuff has already been done and agreed. I don't think a lot of stuff has already been done and agreed upon. I think that this is basically showboating. I think that Russia doesn't really have any intention of backing down with a lot of this shit. But if America doesn't side with Russia, they will be forced to back down. And I think that they're going to have, like, a border that's going to be like a soft border, that kind of like how China claims Taiwan is China, you know? Or they've done it for a really long time. I think Russia's going to do that with different parts of Ukraine, and I think that's just what they're going to do. I think that's going to be their consensus. Like, they'll still have, like, they may say, oh, here we have, like, a peace thing, but they'll still claim the land as their own, and Ukraine's going to claim the land as theirs. Will that cause conflict down the line? I don't know, but that's kind of how I see it going. There we go. Dory says the Ukrainians had something like 2 years of weekly drills after that for future possible invasions. Yeah. Mr. Meow says this is technically Russia's third invasion of Ukraine since 2014. Yeah. Mr. Meow says China can't invade Taiwan. No one's stopping China if they do, though. Like, we have U.S. bases and stuff like that, but I'm not going to dive really deep into it. Once the U.S., I don't know. That's like a whole different conversation. The one China policy prevents it. That is true. That is true. Yeah, I do agree. China does have policies that actively prevent them from getting in conflict. So that is usually what is stopping shit. That doesn't mean it will happen forever. I highly doubt they might invade, but I think it would be like a softer invasion. I think that they would try to take governmental power over, like having spies in government and that sort of thing, and have like a revolution start from the inside out. That would be China's like most strategic thing that they could do that would cause the least amount of conflict within the world. Because then from the outside looking in, the rest of the world would just be like, oh, they want to go back to China. And then it's just better PR and stuff. And then China could be like, oh, see, look, they want us. They want us. Like, they just want to be part of us again. Like, obviously, they were always with us. So, yeah. That's the best thing. I mean, that would be the best course of action for them. China is not going to start, like, a war. Most stuff is very, like, behind the scenes and subtle. Like that. Daria says China invading Taiwan is the second biggest trigger for a world war after India v Pakistan IMO. Exactly. That's why they would do it like spy, that sort of thing, like internal shit. Mr. Meow says, so if China invades, they lose their UN Security Council seat. Yeah, but I don't think they care as much about that as you think. The UN, though it is important, it's more of a PR thing than anything else. It's where countries can all come together and be like, this is what we think and what we believe, and they can like directly say it to one another. But aside from that, it's not as influential or important. They don't enforce shit. Mr. Meow says exactly the same thing as it is with Hong Kong. Fair. And Daria says China aren't in a position to do it unless they sort out the Three Gorges Dam. It's too easy a target with devastating consequences. No, I'm literally saying they would just need to infiltrate the government from the inside out. If they do that, there's nothing anyone in the world can do to stop them, because they would just need evidence and proof. And that sort of thing gets covered up constantly. Like, look at what America did in most like left-leaning countries in like South America, what they did in Iran, what they did like literally everywhere. Like everywhere. The CIA has been in so much shit. Who's to say that China isn't doing the same crap? And if not better. So, yeah. Mr. Meow says the Security Council, they absolutely care about it. Let them veto all UN actions against China. And gives them so much leverage to support other countries. Yeah. Yes and no. I agree. I agree, though, with your sentiment. I don't know. I'm just saying that if I was in a diplomatic position, I would never do active warfare, like ever. Like America is running on empty with the shit that we're doing. Like it's so fucking stupid. Like America had the most power, in my opinion, when we were doing lots of undercover like psyop shit, which isn't good stuff, you know. But that's when America had the most influence and the most power. Partially. Just partially. And I think China would be really fucking good at just leveraging psyop shit. Like, I think that is, if they want to take over Taiwan, that's what they're going to do. Dario says, imports/exports, China is vulnerable without that veto agreed. Yeah. That's true. It also depends on the stability of, well, China is trying to, we're getting so deep in the weeds right now. But I know they're trying to do more land grabs in the sea. They're trying to build like little islands and stuff and call them like China's islands, basically like sand lands or like dirt or whatever, anything that they can make. Putting little bases on there to be more like strategic. I don't know. I think China also does a lot of the infantilization that Japan does when it comes to the perception from other nations. Like IMO. I think they do that all the time. Like they don't want people in the West to think that they could actually use their guns for anything. And I think that's very strategic. Like to not show how your weapons could be used and how that force could be implemented makes you more of a threat because people don't understand it. Like they don't. They're just like, well, how would this weapon work? How could that work with blah, blah, blah? Like how useful would it be? Like what are their tactics? And because the West doesn't get to see how China would actively do things, it also makes China a little bit more scary. It's like an intimidation factor. It's like you don't know what you don't know. But like with America and Russia and like Ukraine, like lots of the West, you get to see how they're playing everything out, and it's a lot easier. It's more beneficial for China. But I'm just saying, like, I'm not like being like pro-China or shit like that. I'm just saying that like this is my like unbiased, like me trying to remove every feeling I have away from this. And if I was in a position of power, that's what I would do. Anyways, Mr. Meow says, remember Taiwan was in the UN Security Council? China fought so hard to get it. The whole one China policy history. Yeah, it's true. Daria says, I think they do, Josie, but mainly in Pacific arenas, etc. Kind of. Pro-China and shit. The way you talk, LOL. Well, I'm trying to be, like, honest. I don't know. What do you want me to be like? Like, oh, with this offensive and defensive strategy, blah, 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 blah. What do you mean? We're shooting the shit, bro. So, like, it's fine. Nah, I think about this a lot, though. And I've been thinking about this since, like, I started researching it when I was in high school. So, I don't know. I think China is doing lots of things behind the scenes. And I think the West is just now starting to peep it, but it's been happening for decades. And the biggest moves are made in silence. And I think China gets that. And I don't think, because the US is so, like, braggadocious and grandiose, pardon me, it's like the exact opposite. So the West can't really read it. They can't really decipher what's happening as easily. Let's see. Mr. Meow says, I wonder if we will ever recognize Taiwan as a country, though. Probably not. Probably not. Because it's like, if the same sort of thing happens with, how do I say this? Give me a second. If there is not a direct treaty between Russia and Ukraine, I could see America and a lot of other Western nations having a lot of controversy about who actively has control over certain areas of Ukraine, especially on the eastern border, where like Russia is currently being like occupying them. But yeah, Mr. Mouse says the West literally built up China. That is true. That is true. And the West literally built it to be their biggest enemy. It's that thing where like you view someone to not be a threat for so long that they're grinding, and then they catch up to you and you're like, holy fucking shit, they're gonna entirely just overtake me. But yeah, Daria says the White House officials state that the luncheon between the US and Russia delegations has been canceled, adding that President Trump will immediately return to Washington. Oh, is that for tomorrow? Yeah, I'm not surprised. I don't think that went well at all. That's why it was so short. They have to have the press briefing afterwards because it looks good for America, it looks good for Russia, but that was not like any consensus on anything whatsoever. It was just, we hope this will be good, or like, we're hoping that things will be better. But yeah, the decision was already made before the conference, which is why they didn't answer any questions. Partially why, because it didn't go well. Yeah. I think it's more of a Trump thing about why he left. Russia's ambassador to the United States, we are working. So far, there have been no major breakthroughs, and apparently there cannot be any. Yeah, because it's not between America and Russia. This literally just muddied the waters and made it worse. IMO. Mr. Meow says, I was at least expecting some symbolic promises. I mean, they kind of had that. But yeah, the luncheon would just be for more press, and they already accomplished that with what they had today. So what were they going to do? Say the same thing over again? The luncheon basically would just be like luncheon. I don't know how I'm saying that, but the lunch basically would have just been like, see, look, we get along. It wouldn't do anything. Type 2 says, Vlad took Donald aside, showed him the piss tape, and said, be a good little boy. And then Trump was like, I don't know if I like that type of golden shower, Daddy. Like, shower me in gold, and then you can piss on me. It's okay. Sorry. Daria says, did he literally do this fucking nonsense to get Putin to say there was only a war because of Biden? Not necessarily. I think it's both a presser thing for both of them. So Trump is really, really pushing for a, oh God. He really wants to get a Nobel Peace Prize, like really, really bad. And in the discussion that they had between, let me look at my notes, be sure I'm getting everything right. Armenia and Azerbaijan? I don't know, I never fucking say that right, sorry guys. But in that presser that they had between the three nations, they were literally like, we just want to sit here and we're going to be here when you get your Nobel Peace Prize, Trump. Like, he's really pushing for that. It has nothing to do with, like, actually doing anything positive, just so you guys know. Type 2 says, I really think they want to discuss the blackmail they have on each other, and that's it. I don't think so. I don't think a lot of it had a lot to do with blackmail. I think both of them are just Azerbaijan. Thank you, Darius. I appreciate that. Yeah, but it's not really about Biden. It's about getting the Nobel Peace Prize. And this is about optics for both of them. Putin can use this for optics to make his public think that they're having better relations and they're making progress in collaborating with the West, which obviously probably won't be long-standing, you know, whatever. Trump is like a play both sides kind of dude. So yeah, he just wants to look good on both sides and get what he can from both parties. He just cares about resources, money, and specifically the Nobel Peace Prize, which he's been mentioning over and over and over again. Like, literally, in the presser he had yesterday, he talked about the Nobel Peace Prize. He's been talking about it constantly. And I think today when he was in his plane, he was talking a bit about it too, but I can't recall a lot of those details. I didn't take notes of that. I was a little busy. Dory says that administration is such a joke. So much stuff should have been agreed last week, and this is just a ceremony. Yeah, but this isn't anything, like I said, what they're getting out of this has nothing to do with like diplomatic ties or anything like that. It's PR for both of them. It's just a PR thing. Obviously, they weren't going to have the lunch. They decided that beforehand. Otherwise, they would have been like hyping it up more, like, oh, I'll see you tomorrow at blah, 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 blah. Or we'll do this later, blah, blah, blah. The reason why, obviously, they weren't going to do anything is because in the conference, they weren't mentioning it at all. Otherwise, there's no big surprise. It was probably like, maybe we'll do it, maybe we won't. And then Putin was really trying to push to have him in Russia, because if he goes to Russia, that'll be even better PR for Putin, because that's his goal. That's what tells you what his goal was. It's like, and what they don't say, you gotta pay attention, you know? Anyways, Mr. Meow says, the thing is that Russia's position, let's see, has never changed since 2014, and that's why experts are skeptical of any negotiations, because the West can't agree to Russia's positions. Yeah. And Trump knows that. They both know that. Both of them had the discussion understanding that nothing would change. Daria says, Russia has always craved U.S. recognition. He's had Trump applauding him and literally rolling out the red carpet for him. Yeah. It's not even about recognition. It's a PR thing. Tanner says, why don't you become a politician, Josie? What would I do in politics? Daria says, and that waste man used radioactive weapons on our turf. I mean, the U.S. has literally, like, used radioactive shit on U.S. turf, too. Do you mind elaborating, though, Darius? So I can hear what you mean? Tanner says, I don't know, don't politics and shit. Like, I don't know. Mm. You guys are lucky you're getting me talking about this shit today. It's good timing. That's why we can do it. Doing politics and shit. I've been told to become a politician for a very long time. I had opportunities, and I've shadowed, and I've, like, done all that sort of thing. I've helped out with lots of shit. I don't know. Probably not, though. Darius says, Russians came here and poisoned people with plutonium or something, and there he is getting a red carpet. Oh, yeah. I mean, America's done worse shit. IMO. I'm not even focused on that. Like, I know people get, like, really nitpicky about public relations with, like, or things that each country has done to one another on each other's turf, but for the most part, a lot of it's irrelevant with what's going on right now. Darius says, not on our soil. Yeah, but as you can see, it's not a focus of anything that they're talking about. Like, there was no press conference. They didn't even, like, answer any questions or whatever. They already, like, I think I don't know, part of that discussion that Trump had with Putin and behind closed doors was about, like, what are we going to say to the public and how are we going to both make each other look good in the ways that we want to look good. And then we'll just leave and it'll be fine. Darius says, unless you count all your tourists trying out accents. Yeah. America hasn't done great things. Russia also hasn't done great things. Especially to, like, both countries and both sides. I don't know as much about, like, the plutonium in America. So if you have, like, sources for that, I'd like to see it. But that's not something I'm super educated on. And I also don't think it's entirely relevant. What's going on now? Tanner says talking Alaska was sold by Russia to us, right? Maybe you can tell something about it because you know stuff about history. Oh, that happened in, like, the late 1800s, early 1900s or something like that. When was Alaska sold to the U.S.? Yeah, 1867. Oh, yeah, it was after the Civil War. That makes sense. Yeah. It was basically because they didn't really see it as, like, useful or whatever. I don't know as much about that history. Dari says it was colonized by Catherine the Great. You've never heard of the targeted allegations or assassinations in the UK by the Russians using radioactive materials? Oh, I thought you were talking about America. Yeah, I was like, I don't think that's, like, happened a lot here. It might have, but America's pretty good at doing that to its own people. Which, that's a whole different discussion. Ah. After, CW, oh, okay. Yeah. CW, what do you mean? Civil War, yeah. Darius says, no, I'm talking about Putin and his goons, yeah. That was late 2000s, early 2010s, right? Mr. Meow says Russia's got as south as San Francisco, yeah. And Spain had more territory in that area. Central U.S. was French. Yeah. They just didn't necessarily have the manpower to really take over the land and to, like, I don't know, from my understanding, it was more focused on, like, discovery and not really anything else. Dari says 2006-ish, yeah. I know that Russia had a lot of things that they did to people in the press. politicians from all over the world, starting like mid to late 2000s, extending into the present time period. With most recently the how do I say it? One of the more recent times being some of their own journalists that they killed. I can't remember the journalist's name, but he was like the biggest opposing journalist to Putin, and when he passed away, it was like a really big fucking thing. Yeah, then they did it again in 2018. They've been doing lots of fucked up shit like that for a really long time. But they have nukes and shit, so a lot of the countries are really nervous to do shit with them. Most of what Trump is doing with Russia is just like displays of power. And I think he has that discussion, or he's had discussions with Putin being like, oh, hey, I just have to do this to make people think that like I'm on their side. I think that's the angle that Trump is playing with Putin, where he's trying to play both sides. I think with Zelensky in private, he's probably like, hey, like, I'm just like on Putin's side, like pretending I'm getting insider information and knowledge, and vice versa. I think, though, his allegiances lie with himself, and that's gonna be the biggest problem here in America. Because if you don't have a solid line that you will affiliate with, it's just gonna cause more problems. It's gonna cause a lot more problems, honestly. Primarily because who would want to ally with a country that you don't even know where they stand? You know? That's why moderates are dangerous. Or people who decide to not say their opinion, they're the most dangerous people. I don't know. Yeah. Play both sides and you'll get wrecked by both sides. That's how that goes. Can't be manipulative forever. But the question is, not necessarily the question, I think he'll be out of office by the time that we would have like insanely long-lasting consequences. I'm talking about like centuries of consequences. They'll probably be like decades, you know, but whatever. Mr. Meow says, but countries change their positions all the time. Yeah, but not like how Trump does stuff. His PR is very like dictator-esque, you know? And he's very, very much like, I'll play both sides to get what I want. Which people in America are like, yay, we get our stuff, we get our, at least we're winning, you know, that's how you win and that sort of thing. But you can't win a game if people don't want you to play anymore. And if you keep playing both sides and you don't have any true allegiances, people don't trust you and they'll exclude you and then you won't win. There's nothing to win. That's why China plays like the, not even playing both sides. That's why they don't do a lot of militaristic things, because then they don't have to be in the position that America's in right now. The position America's in is like, because we're so militaristic, if anything happens military-wise and people in the world are like, oh, we need like backup, we need backup, we need backup, they go to the US for that. And who the US affiliates with is very important. And then the rest of the world is like, okay, we can like align things after that because we have the biggest military. But the caveat I want to add to that is when you flip-flop so much, people start being like, okay, you're the biggest military force. We can't trust you anymore. So we're going to start building up our own military so we don't have to rely on you anymore. And the minute that happens, America's fucked. We have no leverage anymore. Like, we can't, sure, we could sell weapons and that sort of thing, but people aren't going to value our opinion as much. And we're already seeing that transition happen with a lot of, we discussed this yesterday, but yeah. A lot of the NATO countries, France and Germany and even England, are thinking about remilitarization, which is crazy if Germany is wanting to do that again, because that's what's led to like every fucking war, every world war. So the signs are there. But yeah, so America not having solid lines causes a lot of problems. A lot. And if we're not trustworthy, we're just going to get booted out. And that's all we have. That's literally all we have, is the violence. And the minute that that's out of things, like, our economy isn't amazing. We can't leverage that. Like, we're just screwed in lots of ways. Mr. Meow says, but countries change their positions all the time. We discussed that. Chaotic says, are you winning, son? I don't know. I don't think this is a game that you win or lose. I think it sucks. I think it honestly sucks. But we're just talking like, how do I say this? I'm coming at this from the perspective of strategy. Like, if you were to play the game as one of the big players, what would you do? Mr. Meow says, I agree with some of what you said. Okay, then tell me where you disagree. Because you might have information that I don't have. And that's not flip-flopping. That's changing in accountability once you get more information. Chaotic says, the signs of human destruction were all there. Climate change, AI raise, World War III possibly very near. World War III isn't going to be a whole military adventure like people think it is. It's soft. Just like how I was describing, partially how I was describing earlier. Militarization is actually a sign of weakness in today's infrastructure and fields of society. If you rely on military to show your force, then you are weak. You don't need military to be strong. You don't need to punch someone to show that you're strong. People bowing to you shows that you're strong. No one's bowing to America. Tanner says, the part of NATO and Europe ads came in. Oh, ha! Anyways, I didn't really add like a lot. Mr. Meow says, the epic, many countries view us as the source of the problems, not the solution. Okay, 1 second. Sorry. Notification. Many countries view us as the source of the problems, not the solution. Even Taiwan had to condemn our politicians showing up in their country for photo ops with war rhetoric. Yeah, no one... America just does shit for PR. Our tactic is military shit. Whenever there's a military conflict, America gets our ass in there and we're like, choose this side. We're gonna fund this side, blah, blah, blah. And proxy wars is how America keeps going. Like, it literally is. And when you take away the proxy wars and things, and you take away the military stuff that we have and militaristic avenues that we have no leverage. We don't have a lot of outsourcing that we're doing. Or not outsourcing. We outsource fucking everything. Like, literally everything. America doesn't manufacture shit here. We're a consumerist-based economy. That is what we have. The only things that we really make are weapons. We don't make jack shit. And most of the stuff for those weapons, we have to bring in from other countries because we can't afford to do it here because it would crash our fucking economy. The amount that it would cost for us to reopen mills and everything like that, it wouldn't be feasible because by that time, our stuff would be out of date. Like, we would still have to rely on other countries for a long time. Chaotic says, America approach, war and Coca-Cola to the world. Yeah, but even a lot of the countries who are based in America, their primary demographic isn't even America anymore. Like, I've known a lot of media actually makes a lot more fucking money in China and in East Asia than they ever do here, like, box office in America. Like, most of our consumerism that we give to the world isn't even, like, really popular here. Like, people don't like American shit. Like, America hates American shit. It's not a novelty. So it doesn't even sell well when we have it, unless you're like, America only. But even then, it's just, like, assembled here in America. So anyways, I hope that made sense. I know I probably didn't word that in the best way, but yeah. Mr. Meow says, we outsourced for trade policy, and that was our leverage, free trade, until Trump started pushing tariffs. Yeah. And now people are like, oh, okay, cool, we'll just go to other countries for this shit. And now other countries are wanting to form financial pacts. Like, I know there's some stuff in Africa that's happening. A lot of Asian countries are also trying to form, like, possibly financial pacts to leverage their currency over the US dollar, which if the US dollar doesn't become the currency that people compare everything to, it'll probably be like Eastern Asian money, depending on how they do stuff and, like, make everything, like, whatever, how they organize their finances. But if that happens, America's fucked. America has to sit there and be like, holy shit, what are we going to do when another country has power? And then, we can't militaristically invade at that point because we don't have any more leverage. Mr. Meow says, don't get me started on Asia. I know, there's lots of stuff. I'm gagging because it's, like, so much shit. It's a lot. It's a lot. And I would have to do more research on certain aspects of it to have the best conversation. So I'm telling you guys what I do know and what I do understand. Parts of it, because otherwise we'd be here and I'd be like, I know this, and that's not helpful. Tanner says that might be niche, but American guitars are great. But most of them aren't even manufactured here. Like, that's the thing. Like, they're assembled here, but not manufactured here. Tanner says that might be neat. Oh, wait. Mr. Meow says, I've traveled to so many Eastern Asian countries. I know, take me with you. Please take me away. Take me away to a secret place, a sweet escape. Sorry, I can't help it. It's true though. Take me away from here. Yeah, okay. No, many are American built too. Made in the US. All it takes to have a made in the US sticker is assembling shit in the US. Not every part is manufactured here. You could get the sticker with just assembling shit in the United States, or having one small component that's actually like made in the US, like worked on here. Chaotic says, Josie, why don't you go to Canada? Imagine it's better there than the US. I don't like the cold. That's literally why. I don't like the cold. I think it's gross. No offense, cold, if you're watching the VOD. Not you. Don't take it personally. But I really don't like things being super cold all the time. It stresses me out. It's gross. Cold? What cold? No, cold. Cold. C-O-L-D. Cold. Like cold. I guess maybe I say it with a T. I think that's like a Midwestern thing. Sorry. Chaotic says, I love cold. Get me out of that shit. I like the warm. I like heat. I need my lizard time or I go fucking crazy. I like lots of plants, lots of lizard, humidity sometimes. I'll take the dry. I just need to live in a place that has palms. Why not Mexico? Because I don't want to live in Mexico. I probably would never live in Mexico. Not because it was a crime or anything, or disliking the language or anything like that. It has nothing to do with that. I just don't really want to live in Mexico. SoCal. I like SoCal. I like Hawaii. I like some parts of Florida. If it wasn't fucking crazy, I would think it's okay. Would you live in any Middle Eastern country? Not forever. Not forever. I'm learning Arabic though, so yeah. I'm not entirely fluent yet, but yeah. I love how you yawn in our face. Is it our question so bad? No, here we are again. No, it has nothing to do with you. I'm tired. I'm also talking a lot, so I need more oxygen. And after I eat, I'll be more awake. I just gotta keep doing things, otherwise I get tired. I had coffee. I had like 2 cups of espresso. I might have another one before I do homework and shit. Thank you, George, for espresso machine. But yeah. Your questions aren't bad. I'm not yawning at you. I'm yawning because I'm actually tired. Nothing to do with you. Caddick says, I would want to live in New Zealand. Damn. New Zealand's chill. I like it. I like the aspect of New Zealand. I don't think I'd want to be there, though. Let's see. Tanner says, would there be a country, though, which would interest you other than the USA? I don't really have one, honestly. I'm not someone who's like, oh, I have to live here, oh, I have to live here, oh, I have to live here. I like a lot of the nature here in the US. But I'm not going to dive super deep into that. Germany, for example, no offense, Tanner, it's too north. I told you. If palm trees don't exist there, I don't want to live there. I want to go where they have the palm trees, which is a lot of different, a very, very wide variety of places. We have a lot of Schnitzelhausen and beer, bruh. Mr. Meow says, aren't you from Nebraska? Yeah. Well, here's the thing. I've traveled, I've lived all over the US. Like, I lived in my van for a while, like, almost a full year. And, I spent time all over the United States. I was still in school and stuff like that, so I had to come back to Nebraska. But when I would take weekends off, and I would literally just drive south in my van, and I would sleep in my tent. And I had, like, a campsite that I'd stay in Nebraska, too. West Coast was harder for me to go to, but I traveled more than when I was younger, so. Yeah. Chaotic says, New Zealand is safe, progressive, politically, very chill, and most supportive. Oh. Very away from most places. I'll have to get up and move around soon, y'all. I'm like starting to get tired. I'm gonna stand up. I'm not tired because of you guys. I'm tired because I have so much that I have to do all the time. Ugh. I was working before I stream. I don't like working, but see, I told you, I'm in my cozy fit today. I'm like, I'm so pale. I'm just wearing like sweatpants, but they're comfy. I just gotta like stretch. My legs hurt. I worked out today. Cozy posy. Yeah, for sure. It's a Friday. I didn't have to. Well, technically, there was an event at my work, and I helped set up for it a couple days ago. So I didn't have to do anything. I was just like, oh, okay. It's already done. Haha. Okay, I'll chill. Oh, your shirt has a speed vent. What is that? Oh, my titties. Yeah. Yeah. I also. Look at that. Boop. Tanner says, good not. Bye. Sleep well. I stood up and now I feel a lot more awake. Chaotic says, I know people are a lot more whiter than you. At least in the camera, you don't look that white. I know. I put on bronzer. And I'm actually not that pale. I do get rather tan. I don't like skin cancer. So I put on a lot of sunscreen and I always wear sleeves. And I always like cover up my skin. I'm just like, don't look at me. No, stop it. And I like panic and I'm like, ah. But I burn pretty easily, but I do get really tan. Like, I think anyone can get tan, but it never really lasts. So I just go like, okay. I use bronzer on my face though, so I don't look like super bad. I don't know. I've thought about like moving to a lot of other countries. Probably not Europe though. Maybe the Mediterranean, Southern Europe, North Africa, Levantine Belt. I'd be okay with living in those areas. I know people who lived in like the UAE. A lot of people are moving to the UAE. I don't know. That's only maybe if I get into teaching, I'll do that, but I don't know if I'm going to do teaching. Not Europe, but Southern Europe. Southern Europe doesn't count. Southern Europe has like its own thing. You know it and I know it. We both know it. Everyone romanticizes Southern Europe. They're like, oh, it's so beautiful there. It's so amazing. I love it so much. And then they see like their country and they're like, they're like, why would I live here? How it's fucking horrible. You know? Chaotic said, Mr. Meow says, I don't care for going back to Europe. I feel like Europe's fine. Like, I'm being argumentative, but like, it's fine. It's fine. It's not my favorite thing, but it's fine. I might go there. I'd definitely go there. But like, I don't think I'd stay there. Mainly because, no offense, you guys, I just want palm trees. That's literally palm trees. That's what I want. Caddick says I'm mostly white, but my arms are a little brown. Miscegenation. What the fuck does that mean? I've seen that word before, but now I'm confused. Sexual relationships or reproduction between people of different ethnic groups, especially when one of them is white. Holy shit. Mr. Meow says it's okay, it's a preference, and that's talking about Europe, not interracial dating. Well, maybe, I don't know. I don't need to hear that side of you, though, if that's an opinion you have. I don't know. Oh, I'm so excited. I get to cook dinner tonight. Yum, 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 yum. Yum, 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 yum. I don't know. Do you guys want more, like, political content from me? I don't know. I'm okay with talking about it. I just, like, my family hates me now anyway, so I don't have to be quiet. Everyone died. Anyways, Chaotic says, literally, Josie, miscegenation is basically how Brazil population was formed. Yeah, same with, like, Filipinos, you know? Anyways, Mr. Meow says, I want more conspiracy streams. What do you mean conspiracy streams? I don't do, like, conspiracy shit, by the way. I really don't cover that. I really don't, though. I don't really talk about conspiracies much. We just talk about facts here, guys. My face gets oily. It's because I'm shiny. It's fun, though. Like, what types of conspiracies? I don't really do conspiracies. Like, I don't mind talking about, like, current events and politics. It's what I, like, listen to all day. Chaotic says, my family is a mix of white, indigenous, and black people. Most families here in Brazil have this sort of diversity. You guys also have, like, the Confederate city, Fedora or whatever, in southern Brazil. Have we talked about this, Chaotic? Was that between me and you? Did I talk about it with another chatter? Fucking everything's wild. Do they allow interracial dating there? South American in general is like this. That's true. It's like a hodgepodge. A lot of Asia is similar to some parts of Asia, where Spanish was like, let's colonize. And then America was like, piggybacking off of that. They're like, yeah, let's go. Make it a train, you know? Mr. Meow says, Brazil has a town that has a very high number of twins. Yeah, I don't know. There's something weird about, like, twins. It's like there's something in the water with it. Interesting. Yeah, it's becoming more and more common. One, because of IVF, but it's kind of always been a thing, too. I think women just get, like, super horny, you know, when they double ovulate. Like, that's, like, what happens. They give, like, double ovulation. And then they're like, it probably makes their hormones go like, oh! I mean, they're, myself included. I don't know if I ever double ovulate. I'm kidding. Never mind. I'm not going to talk about my ovulation, how I can or can't feel it. Anyways, I feel like people would be able to tell, you know? Yeah, women can feel when they ovulate, by the way. Just so you know. Mr. Meow says, well, I'm serious. It's literally like biology, baby. That's how women used to, like, plan out their birth control. Unless they have, like, IBS, which is, like, irritable bowel syndrome, and then you can't tell the difference between, like, ovulation and having to, like, shit real bad or gas pains. That's different. Mr. Meow says biology education. I could give you the whole thing about it. Like, how different things feel like different things. Having, like, a distended, or, like, a lower bladder can also make it so, like, cramps feel different and blah, 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 blah. Lots of different things. Katic says, we're in sex education class right now with Dr. Josie. Mr. Meow says, no, it's okay. I can answer your questions, though. I grew up in a medical household. I learned about the peen and the bay, the JJ, when I was 5. I'm not even joking. I did. If I had children, I'd just be like, They'd probably ask me things, and I'd just be like, oh, that's a vagina. Like, I don't know. I'd probably just be like, this spot. I'd just explain it to them. I'd be like, diagrams. Because that's what I got when I was a kid. Mr. Meow says I actually really admire Brazil. Ooh, isn't Trump like fucking. Yeah, and the presser, maybe it was yesterday or it was earlier this week. I can't necessarily remember. But he was talking about how Brazil shouldn't be going against the ex-president. Trying to incriminate him for anything, and that he feels that like what's happening to him is a similar witch hunt or something along those lines. What the fuck? What was his name? Blah 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 blah. Oh, Bernie's streaming. Even Brazilian history, they got independence without any revolutionary war. It's a very funny story. Yeah, honestly, I'm not surprised though. Brazilian, they're so far away. They were so far away. Was I gonna look up? Oh yeah, president of Brazil that is under charges. I would say investigation. Bolsonaro, that's his name. Yeah, he was like comparing himself to fucking Bolsonaro. Here's the Al Jazeera about sentencing that's set for September. That's next month, my loves. Oh, there's the link. Let's see. Chaotic says, well, it's complicated. The fact that we didn't have a revolutionary war kind of made it so we kept slavery for a longer period. That's why the Confederates moved down there. They were like, oh my god. They're like, you look different, but we agree with you. Oh, yeah. Chaotic says, fuck Trump and fuck Bolsonaro. Both are a piece of shit. Agreed. And are you surprised that Trump likes Bolsonaro? He was like, what is happening to him is not fair. Should not be happening. Some shit like that. God, I can't even mock Trump properly. He just pisses me off too much. Mr. Meow says Portugal was at war with Spain. Everyone thought they would conquer it, so the monarchy fled to Brazil and loved it. But Portugal managed to defend itself, so the monarchy was recalled, but the king refused to return. What a slay. He was like, you know, these beaches are actually better. Didn't like a ton of Nazis like escape to Brazil too? Sorry, off topic. But lots of people escape to Brazil. They're just like, the beaches, they love me. Or Jamaica. Mr. Meow says, so the family kicked him out and sent him back, but the rest refused to leave and declared independence so they wouldn't have to go back. That's fair. Yep. What is slay? They're just like, you know what? We're just gonna leave to a colony, and then we're just gonna keep that colony. Not even a slay, a bad slay. It's a bad slay. That's like a slay, you know? Because they still like conquered colonizer shit, but it's a funny one because they're just like, you know what? This place is better. I need to think more about what I'm saying before I say it, because what the fuck? Anyways, I have a couple more minutes with y'all, and then I have to go make food, because I'm tired. I'm kind of hungry, too. I was eating some, like, ginger snacks. They're really good. These are better than the really hard ones that, like, made my teeth feel like they were gonna fall out, you know, because it, like, stick together too much. This one actually, like, melts with your saliva. It was pretty good. But Mr. Meow says, but they did have slavery until 1890 or something. Yeah, that's why the Confederates moved down there. There's literally, like, a city in southern Brazil that's, like, Confederate. Like, American Confederates moved down there. The Confederates are the people of the South that were, like, pro-slavery. Chaotic says that's all true. It is true. You are, in fact, correct. It's actually kind of wild to me, low-key. Has there... Okay, but Mr. Meow says, but I do respect that Brazil had a history of setting slaves free. I mean... Yeah. Did they have like Jim Crow shit in Brazil? You know? Like where they're like, oh, or was like race seen differently? Because I know race is very differently perceived in other countries besides the US, because the US has had like well, the US, I'm not going to dive really deep into it, but the one drop rule played a really big factor in how America views color, even to this day. Mr. Meow says, like, children of slaves were not considered slaves either. Oh, interesting. Well, don't let Trump know that, otherwise PragerU is going to release another fucking racist thing. Did you guys see that? So, the White House, or Trump, wants to fund PragerU instead of PBS. And they came out with a video saying that slavery wasn't that bad. It was like low-key, like super fucked up. Not good times. Mr. Meow says, by the time the emancipation came through, the majority of African Brazilians were already free. Like 700,000 were set free. That's like 20% of them. Whoa, that's a lot of fucking people. Holy shit. Brazil's really big, though. I always forget. Brazil is like massive, especially since it's close to Panama and stuff. And then, yeah. I get it. When was the Panama Canal built? Was that the 1800s or the early 1900s? I can't remember. Google time. When was the Panama Canal built? Oh, 1904. That's why I was confused. Really early in the 1900s. That was like a really big fucking thing, too. Oh, let's see. Chaotic says, both emperors, Dom Pedro I and Dom Pedro II, were horny bastards. Dom Pedro I was like, I'm polyamorous, but I forgot to tell my wife. What a bitch! I bet she would have been down too. She'd been like, let me fuck the men, you know? But whatever. He had like 13 registered children outside of marriage, and he actually assumed paternity of all of his children. That's actually really impressive. Mr. Meow says, for reference, the emancipation of the U.S. set 4 million free. Only like 10% were free, mostly because North did not have slavery. Yeah. And there was like Jim Crow laws and other regulations to make it so that slavery wasn't even recognized. And then parts of the United States that were technically not received statehood yet, they still had some slaves, and that's a huge controversial thing. And in order to get statehood, they would have to remove all of it. But that's a whole different discussion. That's like states that got statehood after the Civil War, and lots of those states were within the Louisiana Purchase and places like islands and wow, lots of West Coast shit. But that's a whole different discussion. Mr. Meow says Native American slavery here continued until almost World War I. Fuck, okay. Yeah. Technically, one could say that America does still have some types of slavery. Forced labor. Labor with no pay and shit like that. Well, that is another discussion. That gets into semantics, baby, and we don't got time for all that. We'll go crazy if we dive into all that. Anyways, I really do enjoy our conversations. I do have to go pee, and I am hungry. I'm losing my mind. I'm eating my pen. Not actually, but you know, like, I don't know. Sometimes when I think too much, I just like put it in my mouth and I'm like, I think it's because I have like an oral fixation. I used to smoke. Maybe that's why. Mr. Meow says that's impressive too. Alrighty, my loves. I appreciate our time today. I actually really enjoy talking about politics with you guys. It's really fun. It makes me mad though. So anyways, I'm debating whether or not I should listen to other politics stuff tonight. Sometimes it makes me mad. I'm just like, these motherfuckers. Then I get argumentative in their chats. Which is why there's very few people that I'm like, I respect you enough to not say shit. Also, I know you're gonna block me if I say anything. Little bitches. Block people who have differing opinions. Only, obviously, don't spam. Shit like that. I would never do that. I try to respect people. Some people just take everything as oppositional, even if you agree with them. I'm not really like that. Totally not like that at all. Anyways, I have to go. I guess I gotta go. I guess it's time for me to go now. I might take a break from politics, so just go to bed after I eat. Actually, I have homework to do. It's okay. Yeah, tomorrow we game, which will be fun. But yeah, next week we'll have more fun. Maybe, possibly, I don't know. The stream has been evolving. We'll see what happens. So yeah, I hope y'all have a good night. So tomorrow we're playing more Inside, which is going to be super fun. Obviously, at the beginning of stream, we have random chats. We'll probably talk about random things towards the end or whatever. But I do have finals, so I will have to probably be timely this next upcoming week. But fuck, everything's due Sunday. Anyways, sleep well, stay safe, stay alive, and I'll see you tomorrow. Toots!